doing? Yeah, so this beautiful place here, I'm going up into the hill behind me, find a nice spot, and I'm going to show you what I've got in my bag and what I consider to be somewhat adequate if you're considering going up in the mountains this time of year, because anything can happen. Conditions can change very rapidly, and we need to be aware of that. Too many times people are being called out and expecting the emergency services just to sort them out because they've got inadequate clothing or haven't told someone where they're going, things like that. So it's great to get out, but just have some consideration for yourself and for others who you might leave in an even more vulnerable situation when they're trying to get to you. Stay tuned. Here's a lovely spot. I've spent many a day climbing on that crag and teaching others, getting them into lead climbing. Beautiful spot, beautiful. So, as I was saying on the live video, it's going to be too tricky to sort all that out and get it in something that might flow. I can go on a bit, so I do apologise. So just to get this sort of up and running, basically the first point is about knowing where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, actually get some information locally and do as much research of that area as possible. And if you don't know, go with someone who's got a better idea or has been there. Use their wisdom and knowledge and keep that, you know, in your mind. And once you've decided, make sure you make someone else aware of your approximate times of returning. Some people say leave your information on your car. I'm a bit like that on that one. As long as you leave it with someone that you know is responsible enough to check that you've got home or back to your location, your vehicle. That always depends on mobile signal and things like that, because we're a bit caught up with that all these days. So don't just rely on that. Be aware that you might go into the mountains and the signal's gone. So really important that as soon as you get off that mountain, you check your mobile signal, you call back those people just to say that you're down safely, and if there's no signal, get to the nearest phone box, although we don't have too many, but or at least get to an area with signal to make sure that they're not going to start. You know, there's always a laid back procedure put in place for people that know. So even those that want to go out, just take it on board that other people do care about you guys being out there, and we want you to be out there. So let people know where you're going, get back in contact with them, tell them you've had a cracking day, everything was great, and you're down hunky-dory. So that's the first thing really you should do. Obviously be aware of understanding navigation and stuff like that. There's plenty of courses and people out there that can teach you all that. I'll gladly help if I can. If you're local and you want to get in touch with me, give us a shout. But yeah, seriously, once all that's in place and you've got a good idea of navigation, you know which way a compass is and a map is, north and south, having it wrong way round, believe me, it happens. You get onto your equipment, and first and foremost, clothing. No matter how bad it can be out there, it can be alleviated by having appropriate clothing. That's said all the time, yet we always leave it, okay? So that being said, you come down to a rucksack, and my means for this video now is the fact, bear with me, that it's coming into autumn and close to winter, and the weather is dramatically changing all the time. I don't know if you can see my bag down there. There you go. Always changing, from really nice, dry, sunny weather as it is right now, to storms, high winds, even snow and frost high up on the hills. So what do you carry in your bag? Let me turn this camera around if I can. I don't know if I can. I'll have to stop it. Bear with me. Okay, so my bag, normally for my summer stuff, it's 35 litres plenty. You know, decent make, doesn't have to spend a lot. But because we're coming into autumn/winter, the weather's changing. So for me, I'm thinking already of moving up to this size bag, because ultimately you have to take a bit more equipment. You know, conditions are changing so frequently. You could get yourself caught out. Somebody has a small sprained ankle, you're freezing because you're having to wait and hang around for them. So things like that happen. So what I've got in my bag is, I'll show you just now. I'll get it all out and I'll have a little chat about it. So okay, I'm going to go through this equipment as quick as I can. There'll be many variations on this, but this is just what I will do. And obviously with it becoming closer to winter, you've got to be prepared for that. So there would be added food in this for your day, intended day, and something to back up as well, which I do have in there. So yeah, bear with us. So for first off, obviously we have the bag. Secondly, first aid kit. There's so many different kits out there. You should find out where your sort of experience and knowledge is on that, and make it adaptable to your means. And bear in mind, you're not the only one that's going to be on that hill. So be prepared to help others as well. Even if that's just a small bit of tape to get rid of a blister, or some cushion things for corns and things like that. Feet are the real killer sometimes, you know. Obviously fluid. I'd have a lot more fluid than this as a golden rule, but I'm only out for a short walk, so bearing in mind the distance on your preparation of that walk, a good couple of litres generally. I have a tin cup in case things are really wrong, where I could actually use that to heat water. I have a coffee, because I love my coffee, in there, which I'll be having later. I have a rope, because I'm qualified. I know what to do with it. I would suggest, if you wanted to take a rope, it's always handy, but get some experience and get some training there, because you know, a little bit of information is dangerous. From that, I also have a big prusik, you could say, with a carabiner, and again, I know what to do with that. So those things I want you to try and exclude. I can go into those later, but initially I have a fleece, because as I say, the wind can get us now. I'm only in a t-shirt, to chuck on nice and quickly if I stop for a small break, keep my body temperature right. If the weather turns really bad, have waterproof, decent set of waterproof Paramo leggings and smock. I have gloves, 2 sets, my everyday kind of wear, and then a colder ones, because invariably if it's raining, the first set gets soaked, no matter when they say they're waterproof or not. Trust me. I've got I've got like a head scarf, you know, and my hoodie already that I've got on. And again, that tucks down around your neck, because you lose a lot of body heat from there. In here, I have a full set of clothing. I have a heavy duty puffer jacket in there, full change of clothing, spare food. Let me just show you. So as I say, just dragged all this out quickly. I've got spare torch. I have a head torch in my bag, spare batteries, a little glow stick, food, bit of potato and leek soup with some coffee and extra things to light a fire if I needed to, God forbid. Spare trousers, pants and socks all in there, and a nice puffer jacket in here. Sounds a lot, and ultimately it might seem a lot, but ultimately when things go wrong, if you don't have something dry to put on, get yourself into this shelter here. Always take yourself a shelter. You can get smaller ones if you only intend going out with 2 or 3, but bigger generally in this case is better, where you can get your backpacks in and stuff like that, and keep huddled, keep warm until things calm down and you can continue your walk. So I wanted to get through that quite quickly, because I know I can go on. So any questions? Oh, hang on, these here, as the weather's changing, you get up a bit. I've had these a while now. I use ice axe and crampons, no problem with full winter conditions, but these little snow grips, shoe grips and that are really handy. You know, sometimes it changes and on the way down it can get very slippy. So I've never had to use them myself, but I have had to put a spare pair to a guy that was struggling on a gully section once when a snow had come in a bit, and we had to get to the top of it before we could descend the other side. So handy little bit, you know, of kit to have. So let me know what you think, and be good to hear from you guys on what it is you think, if it's OTT or not. Obviously there would be map and compass and everything else, which is in the top section of my bag, but it's really, really important because, you know, we still get some lovely days and lovely weather, and it's tempting to go out there, and then you get out there 3-4 hours out onto a hill and it changes dramatically. And like I said before, someone has a small slip or a fall, sprains an ankle, it doesn't have to be anything major, but it can put your timing out to such a degree where people are going cold, start to suffer, and you're struggling with a escape route out due to that. So I hope you find it interesting. The video will finish when I get up on the top and show you some scenery. So see you in a bit. Any guesses what this is, guys? Apart from a beautiful place, there's a fair bit of edibles here. It's a stunning little walk up through here. See the daylight at the top, valley system down there. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I do normally go on a bit, and one day I'll get some good equipment. A shot of a berry or two. Very nice and ripe. Slightly steep at this end. It's looking really, really good. Slightly muddy, and those blackberries were lovely. So nearly at the top, and then once we get up there I can show you behind the trail I'm taking through there. And I'm just coming to the outlet, the stile's just up there, and look at the abundance of these babies. Give us a write-up on what you think those are, guys. Not short of them here. Would you or would you not eat them? I'd like to hear your answer. So as I just stroll at the last bit, we're getting out of this woods. Hey up, it's Barbara. Every time I see her, she does a runner. Absolutely stunning out here. Well, there you go. It's still a beautiful day, but the wind's chilly. So I've got my fleece on, I'm going to carry that. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. That would be awesome if you could. Definitely leave comments on what you think.